Hey guys! Uh, I am trying a few new things with this stream. How's everybody doing today? Among other things, I have a new mic. It is a little Samsung Go mic, and if there's anything I can do to make the quality better, please let me know. Apparently my video output is low and the internet is being dumb again, so, that's a thing. Uh, I'm sorry about that. But um I I rigged up a green screen, so this time we have a face cam. Hi guys. Um I'm not really sure if I'll keep it or even if I'll keep it in this spot. But yeah, I don't know if you guys like it, but if you don't, I can always get rid of it. So yeah, let's see what's going on and what's up. Um, let's scoot down. Alrighty, that doesn't look quite as bad as I thought it might. Hold on, I'm gonna adjust it. Um, just to see if I can frame myself a tad better. Um, I'm working with the actual camera on my laptop. I still need to put googly eyes up by it so that I can make proper eye contact. um, so anyway, we've got our to-do list up, and I've only sketched out about 4 of these, but I think it's okay if we take a little bit of extra time on them today. Just because I'm trying to get the feel for this new setup. I know the light on one side of my face is warmer than on the other side. That's because the only lamp I could fit over in the corner was my lava lamp. So that's what's up with that. Eventually I'll see if I can't move a cooler colored lamp over there, but yeah. How's the quality going? Because it feels a little bit weird. I also completely forgot to get myself a drink this time, but that's okay. Let's just set my brush size at 10 and jump right in. Um, like I said, if you guys don't like the face cam, I'm totally okay with getting rid of it. Um, I'm personally not too sure about it because face cam really isn't much of a thing. Um, with the format that most art YouTubers use. And, I mean, it's not like it's too important. You guys are here for the art, not necessarily to see my face. So, but if you like it, I will be happy to keep it. It might make for some cool, uh, it might make for a little more comedy, or at the very least, it will prove that I do in fact make weird faces when I'm trying to draw weird expressions. Um, so yeah. Once I finish this line art, I'm gonna see what's going on in the chat. I don't know if the stream quality is going to be any good. I hope it is. But the internet has been dumb lately, and it's why I need to get my own at some point. But speaking of getting my own internet, I have a Patreon now. Um it's uh and here I am immediately forgetting all the work I did for the past 3 days trying to set that thing up. Um basically, basically the main thing that becoming a patron will give you is early access. Um But I'm also posting all of my sketches for these request streams publicly there. So even if you don't become a patron, it might be worth tuning in if you want to see what I'm doing every week for this. And if you do become a patron, pledging $1 will get you access to a special patron Discord server that I set up. And it will also give you access to all my finished pieces as soon as I finish them. So no waiting for the usual schedule. Pledging $2 will get you videos as soon as they're uploaded, instead of waiting for the release date, and then from there it's $5 for coloring pages, and there was another thing that I set up, and I don't know, but the reward tiers go all the way up to $50 a month, which I don't really expect anyone will do. But if you have any suggestions for rewards or ways to make the tiers a little bit better, by all means, I'm open to suggestions. And again, once I finish this line art, I'm gonna post the link in the chat. It's already in the description. But I set up the Patreon for a few reasons. One, increasingly the things I'm gonna need to continue to do this with any sort of quality are on a subscription basis, and if I can get enough to cover the subscriptions I need to build up my quality of content, that would be great. And two, after the whole thing with the iridescence speed paint, I realized that holding stuff back to release it on a proper schedule isn't really my thing. So hopefully the Patreon will allow me to post things when I want to post them instead of having to wait, and I will avoid future fiascos like that. So it's just, hopefully it's a compromise that will work out pretty well. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm also trying to get the hang of doing behind the scenes content. Which I haven't posted any to Patreon either. I think that starts at the $10 tier. But I am trying to get used to picking a part of a drawing to comment on and then just post the whole entire commentary for that part of the piece. I've like for Friday's speed paint, I did commentary over doing the line art, and for next Friday's speed paint, I have recorded commentary over the sketching. So that's some of the behind the scenes content that I've been doing, but I'll probably figure out how to do some better stuff as time goes on. And I'm excited to see if this pans out or how it pans out. So just, it's okay. It's really just, like most things on this channel, it's just an experiment to see if something works. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. You know? And if it does work, that's even better. So, anyway, on to the actual art, because that's what we're all here for. This was requested by Sir Kunamet. I believe he's in the chat right now. And, It's his OC, Nemu, and his other OC, Artemis, just hanging out. Nemu is a mage, and Artemis is a talking rabbit, so, he can probably explain their characters better than I can. It should be pretty interesting to listen to. His characters are all really cool. He's been talking to me over my normal Discord, not the Patreon one. Because honestly, today is my hard launch of the Patreon. I did a soft launch all the way back on like Sunday, but I had to do make my profile viewable by the public in order to post the content so that you guys would have something to see when I told you about it today. So, yeah, this is my official Patreon launch, kind of in multiple parts. I'm gonna be talking about it again this evening. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited about a lot of things today. Not just the microphone, not just the green screen. I also managed to place in that one art contest. I made it all the way to the finalist pool. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. That's, some of those finalists, man, I almost didn't. It's really weird seeing my piece with them because there was this very beautifully painted, impressionist piece with Godzilla on it, and if that were painted on canvas, if it were painted on canvas and I had that kind of money, I would totally pay to buy the original and have it put in a nice frame. It's just a really beautiful piece, and it's so weird seeing mine where I know all of the flaws that are already in mine. It's weird seeing mine next to it. But let's see what's going on in the chat now. Okay. Hi, Cute Ninja Cat Gaming. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, if you have any other requests, let me know. Preferably over any of the contact things in my description, which I'm mousing over it and you can't see it because I'm still locked over Fire Alpaca. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that statement. Anyway, so let's pick a nice background color. I'm just gonna go with a nice, sunny day. And, we'll work from here. I'm not really gonna use that off-white. I'm gonna use more of a neutral grayish there. And I'm going to color Artemis. He's a cute white rabbit. And I forgot what color his eyes are. But I'm sure you'll, if you could remind me about that. Let me pull up my reference window. Let's see. I don't want to do that. I want to go down to, not to speed paints. I want to go to request streams. And then somewhere in here I've got another picture of Nemu. Just because I like to have her, color scheme right. Somewhere in there. Sorry, I'm just... Yeah, that's a good one with her color scheme. There we go. Um, So, yeah, how are you guys liking the stream so far? I'm sorry if my internet can't really keep up with it. Um, I don't really know how to fix that. I've tried re-optimizing my stream, but um, apparently it just doesn't want to do what I need it to do. So, um, that is just something that I'll have to figure out later. Again, if if I manage to be able to afford a my own separate internet connection, it should fix the problem, hopefully, if I can get the right speed that I need. But if there are any particular problems with this stream, I'm just going to assume they're on my end, because like I've said before, I kind of live out in the middle of nowhere, and it's hard to get a decent connection with really good speed, because nobody wants to drive out into the rural areas to build up internet infrastructure. So I'm pretty sure we have some of the fastest internet available in our area. It's just that nobody wants to invest in our area. So um but that's okay. Let's see. That's the other reason, or that's another reason why I ended up that's another reason why I set up the Patreon, is I will be going to college later, and it'll be in a city where I have access to higher speed internet. But as usual, college is expensive. So, actually, I'm just gonna recolor this stuff on this layer, which I need to make a little stronger, more opaque, is what I mean to say. So, just any extra money that I can earn at this point, would be very helpful for continuing to be able to do this, while I'm at school. And part of the reason why I did decide to go with the extra green, or why I decided to add the face cam and really try to up my production quality here, is that I am gonna try to major in film, which is not the wisest decision. Admittedly, I just, it has just become apparent that, majoring in foreign language is not really gonna be for me, because there is a lot of study abroad involved in that, and, I'm just not gonna be able to afford that. Unless I happen to find a way. I just don't think it's really feasible, so, but on the other hand, at least if I major in film, there's a chance I might be able to, I don't know, pack up and move to New Zealand and maybe try to work as a grip on like a Power Rangers set or something, you know? Um, Nothing like particularly impressive or anything, but, you know, it would be a foot in the door. So, yeah. What was I even talking about? Let's see, we've got a pretty sunny day going on here. Both in real life and in this picture, but for now, I'm just kind of trying to make it look good. And, let me check on the time and see how well we're going. Oh no, darn. For some reason, every time I turn my phone on, it defaults to the camera. So yeah, we're about 30 minutes in, which means I can move on to, which means I can check the chat, and then I can move on to the one I'm really excited to do. Let's see. Can I draw your, what does PB stand for? I'm just, okay, his eyes are green. Thanks. There we go. That looks nice and cute, so I'm just gonna save that. Oh, I forgot to color in the center of her flower. Duh. Okay, so that's done. I can add a nice little check mark by it. So now we have this, which was requested by an IRL friend of mine. He requested my take on the death claws from the Fallout universe, and immediately I decided to go with something more lizard-like, and I think I don't know, I'm really proud of this. I don't necessarily know if it screams Deathclaw, but I think it's a cool design anyway, whether or not it's really, whether or not it necessarily succeeds in its goal. If nothing else, I could see myself using this for a later project. But, anywho, let's just close that up and let's see what's going on in the chat. Kawaii and chibi art is good, and thanks for that. I'm glad you like the sketch. So let's get to it. Alright, the snout on this thing is really, it's based on like an alligator crocodile thing, you could probably tell. But the actual body of it is based on a type of lizard called the three-eyed iguanid. And the three-eyed iguanid does not actually have 3 eyes, but it's absolutely adorable. It's like a tiny little, gecko thing. It's not really an anole, but, but that's probably why I don't particularly find this thing threatening necessarily until I added the stick figure for scale. Because, I mean, size is really important when it comes to monsters and stuff. Because, I don't know. I've always said that there's not behaviorally too much difference between big cats and small cats, but at the same time, if Fluffy weighed 300 pounds, pouncing on your foot would not be as cute. So, and I say that with a great amount of affection for my cats, which pounce on my feet. They're adorable, I love them, they're the best, I'm biased. But, you know, if they were the size of big cats, they would they would not be quite as cute as they are. So I think that this would be a lot more that this is a lot more threatening when you consider how big it is. So, yeah. I'm just gonna finish adding in these spikes. I tried to rest my voice in between recording some extra, some behind the scenes footage and stuff, but I probably should have gotten myself a drink anyway. Because I can feel my voice starting to be a little bit janky. Let's see. I did. Oh, one of the. It feels really weird to say, hey, I noticed something kind of terrifying about the Fallout universe. Because, I mean, it's the Fallout universe. It's supposed to be terrifying, but Deathclaws actually have a lot of characteristics of prey animals. So, take that. So what that implies to me is that there is something out there in the Fallout universe that is bigger and eats them. And that's pretty scary considering how tough Deathclaws are to fight. I played Fallout 4 for a little bit, and I could never beat the Deathclaw. That was, I ended up, like, running away from that fight. And, finding a way around my playthrough anyway. Which I never did complete the storyline or anything. It got to the point where the gameplay was really repetitive, and I don't know, I just felt like I couldn't really keep it going. So, which is weird considering I've sunk like easily 100+ hours into Breath of the Wild, but it's Breath of the Wild, and I do think a huge contributing factor to that is probably the way that my brain processes graphical information. Because Breath of the Wild is easy for me to see. I look at it and everything's different colors, so I can tell for the most part what's a monster and what's part of the landscape. With Fallout, I just tend to see everything is brown. Or sepia tone. So I don't know when I'm looking at a Deathclaw or a building or anything. The biggest indicator to me that anything is whether it moves or not. But that is probably just my brain being not. It's probably just my brain having cognitive difficulties. When it comes to that, because obviously if everybody had that problem, sepia tone shooters would not have gotten popular. Let's see, my voice is really going out now. I'm so sorry if this is getting annoying. I promise I will have a drink next time. Um, hmm. This silence got awkward. So, back to this design. I did want to keep it more lizard-like. I noticed the Deathclaw in Fallout tended to be quite humanoid, actually. It really struck me once I actually was able to see it properly. Not, not blending in with the landscape the way I first saw it. I didn't realize how humanoid it was while I was playing the game, but, once I was able to see a transparency with the actual thing in it, I did realize it was quite humanoid, and I decided that that was not what I wanted to do with my design. So, um, I decided to keep it way more lizardy, if that's even a word. Um, so let's down there. I gave it this one spike in the chest for some reason. I don't know why, except it looked cool. At least I thought it looked cool. It might not look cool. Um, that was one of the things I decided to do with it. Um, I've noticed that lizards actually have quite long claws. Um, but it's I don't know. The shape of the lizard feet was a thing that struck me as interesting while I was working on this. I didn't quite get them right, but I think it was late and I was just trying to get this design done. So, um, once I finish this line art, I am gonna look in the chat and see what's up. I think I may have put too many spikes on it, but then again, its name is Deathclaw. Of course it's gonna be spiky. You know? So we've got this foot and claws. There we go. I forgot to post my Patreon link in the description or in the chat last time, but that's okay. It's all part of the learning process, which, let's be honest, is really all I'm trying to do here is learn as much as I can. So let's get these feet drawn. Alright. Claw, claw, another claw, last claw. I think I still have my correction too high, but it's okay. I've gotten too far into this to really bother changing my settings. No, but just the armored back, the horns, the wide set eyes, those are pretty much all indicators of a prey animal. um, so the fact that Deathclaws might actually not be the top of the food chain is pretty interesting. I don't know what would eat them, but do you really want to find out? um, I'm sorry if I'm emphasizing my T's too much. Speaking of emphasizing and speech, how is the audio quality? Because I put some noise reduction filters over my mic, and I'm not sure if that's quite, I'm not sure if it's working, but I am gonna listen back to the stream for a little while and see if there's anything that I can think of that I might need to change. Alright, let's see if this... Okay, that is not filled in. Somewhere in here I have an open line. I think I've found somewhere. There we go. Let's see about it now. Need to fill in that tooth. Give a little bit of texture to that muscle. And then I'm just going to go down, circle, circle, circle. Not even really sure what those are. I just thought that they made for an interesting texture. Alright. There we go. So I'm going to, before I select that, I'm going to delete this. How much time do I have left? Huh, I've still got quite a bit of time. That didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. So maybe later I will, actually draw the guide depending on how long it takes to color this thing. So, let's just, shift click there and there. And these things are like a really ugly grayish green brown kind of thing, but again, what in that series isn't? Unless it's purposely supposed to stand out, because I noticed a few things like that that didn't quite fit in with the usual color scheme. So I'm just going to hit Protect Alpha here, and I'm going to make the horns darker because I believe that's how they are in the actual game. Okay, that's not nearly dark enough, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my background color, again, just kind of a grayish yellow, maybe grayish green tone. And for now, I'm gonna check the chat and see what you guys are up to. So, let's see. Alrighty. Let's see. Yeah, I play Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm not Kingdom Hearts number 2, but TOO. I'm not too far into my playthrough. I'm stuck on the Tarzan level. And I can't access the Olympus Coliseum because Donald and Goofy haven't learned the necessary Trinity move yet. So I am having a fairly good time. It's a lot of fun to play. My brother and I, or my brother has been helping me out with some of the platforming because I'm bad at games and he is not. And it's been actually a little bit of a collaborative effort between the two of us to get through the game, but it is fun. It's just, I should probably do one of my own playthroughs to try to get better at gaming. Because games are cool. If I were better at math and or better at games, probably and more than or, I might look into game design or computer programming as a major. But I'm incredibly bad at math, which is why my calculated risks probably never pan out. um, the risk I took was calculated, but man, am I bad at math. Let's see, I need to hit protect alpha, or I need to undo protect alpha so that I can fill in that last claw, because I did not notice that that wasn't filled in earlier. But yeah, games are cool. I wish I were better at them. Um, I think part of the reason why I'm better at Breath of the Wild is I don't know, it seems to lend itself to button mashing, but it also one of the things that I've seen said about it a lot is that it is a great video game for people who don't play video games, and I don't know, that seems to describe my experience pretty well. So let's see, we've got these teeth going on here. I probably should have given this guy a tongue, but I will come back to that later. Let's actually edit the tone curve a little bit here. Just to see if I can't bring down. Okay, that is not what I wanted to do. That looks pretty cool. Maybe I can... Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. That looks better. So now if I take a red and do a really desaturated red, it might work for the armored plating back here. Yeah, I like how that looks. And then I close that off. Yeah, I do like how that looks. And then I can do this, get lighter. Fill it in there. There. So he's got that kind of typical lizard belly thing going on. But yeah, if at Cute Ninja Cat, I think is the screen name. I'm so bad at remembering these things. I've got to get better. I'm sure there are memory exercises I can do. I'll have to look some up. But if you send me a thing at pretty much any of those links with what you want me to draw for you, let me know. Or and I should be able to draw it to you, or at least add it to the to-do list next time. We've still got another 15 minutes, so I'm gonna check the chat and then I'm gonna add a guy. Maybe in some power armor, maybe not, but let's see what you guys are doing in the chat. Alrighty. There we go. I'm just going to make the Deathclaw invisible. And then I'm going to draw a guy. with hopefully some more realistic proportions. I say as I make his shoulders impossibly big. Let's see. Give him a rib cage. Most people have rib cages, so. Now, rib cage down to hips and feet. There we go. Let's see. Head could probably be smaller. Gonna make his head small. There we go. And let's see, what is our guy going to look like? I'm probably going to give him power armor or whatever. So I'm just gonna go down there. And I'm just gonna start doing squares and square-ish things. Alright, so there's a visor and eye holes, and let's see, he's probably got like a gas mask, I think, built into it. I don't know what the Fallout power armor really looks like. I mean, I have an idea, but my idea is probably not what the real thing. My idea is probably very lacking. So, let's see. Probably got a bulky armor collar here. And that's... my whole perception of the power armor is big and bulky and lots of edges. And I don't mean edges like spikes or anything, just... I don't even know what I mean at this point, but, let's see. Go. Shoulder pieces there. Let's see. Oh, I added a, card with a link to my Musical May challenge playlist. I recommend listening to it if, I don't know, it's the playlist that I'm gonna be using for my Musical May challenge pieces, but basically the entire goal of Musical May is to make a playlist of anywhere from 10 to 31 songs, and then for every song in the playlist you make a piece, and you do all that in the month of May. So, my playlist is in that card if you want to listen to it. I hear it makes great background music for the streams. I tried to pick all instrumental pieces. You can also check out Sir Kunamutt's Musical May playlist. He is the person who decided to start this challenge. So his playlist is also a really good example. I've seen some of the pieces he has planned, or at least some of the thumbnails for pieces he has planned. And this power armor is starting to look a lot more like traditional armor, but whatever. We've got some big squarish knees over here. So yeah, if you do art, you might want to check out Musical May. It should be a fun thing to do. I still have to plan out more of my pieces. The only one that I've really got planned so far is my first piece, which is the jazz version of the Firebird Suite, as composed by Lalo Schifrin, the man who gave us the Mission Impossible theme. So, if nothing else, the piece is worth checking, or the song is worth checking out for that. Let's see. I've mostly got movie soundtracks and stuff on my playlist, again, because I decided to go for instrumental music, but the music you choose doesn't have to be instrumental if you don't want it to be. So let's check him out against the Deathclaw. Yeah, we've got a guy in power armor up against this thing, and I'd say that's a pretty terrifying Deathclaw now that we have a reference for his size. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I've still got 10 minutes to go. Yeah, you can absolutely request next. Just send me a message at pretty much any of the contact links in the description of the stream. You can talk to me on my DeviantArt, or my Instagram, or my email, or now, because I run this thing on a to-do list thing, I prep requests before every stream. I might not be able to get to yours until next week. But, I should still be able to get to yours next week. Let's see. I don't know. I could also prep some more requests, but I don't think I'll be able to get to more than 3 this evening. So, yeah, I do run these on sort of a queue, but not really. But I'll see what I can prep, in addition for this evening, so that I can, do a few more next week. I don't know, I like having the to-do list because it means that I don't have to worry too much about, oh no, what am I gonna do? I already, because, you know, I already know, and I have it sketched, and this would have taken a lot longer if I hadn't pre-sketched it. So, I am rather attached to the to-do list format. But, like I said, as long as you're okay, waiting your turn, you can see which ones I'm on and how long it should take to get to the next ones. I don't necessarily do the to-do list in order, but I try to keep it in, because sometimes people will give me multiple requests at once. I try to do as close to one of everyone's requests before I move on. So it's not necessarily a fully chronological order, but it's, I don't know, I try to keep it fair so that everybody has their request done, or has a request done, even if not all of the requests, even if not all of the requests are done at the same time. I'm really rambling and not making too much sense. But yeah, just send me a note or a direct message or an email or whatever, and I will add your piece to the to-do list and I will prep it for next week. Because I stream every Wednesday, same time, same place. And yeah, it should be easy enough for me to get to everything in time. Alright, there we go. Add that, that. And then of course we've got these massive boot things. I'm not even going to erase the Deathclaw, I'm just gonna color around it. The power armor tends to look all the same, so I don't have to worry too much about how I color it in. Let's see. Forearm, piece of armor. Alrighty. Yeah, I'd say that looks alright. Let's select. Okay, something is not completely filled in there, but that's okay. I'll just fill it in like that. And let's try again. There we go. Oh, I did not add in that little inner elbow piece there. Sometimes drawing live actually helps me catch mistakes I would have missed otherwise. It's really helpful. I'm just gonna fill this in, and then there we go. Alright, now I'll just select around the Deathclaw. Alright. And now I can pick just kind of a nice dark olive color. And I believe layer 1 should be clear. So just fill that in. And then I can take and fill in the thingy, whatever you call them. And I can take this and use my watercolor brush. I guess a slightly lighter desaturated gray, just to give it a more metallic feel. At this point I really am just killing time. Because I have some other pieces prepped for this evening, but I really want to save them for this evening. So, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We've still got 3 minutes left, but I think we can find a way to use up that time. Let's see what's going on. Yay, I'm glad you're still here. Um, so yeah, I think I can make a new layer, clip, and I'll just use a really dark green and dash in some very rudimentary shading. Multiply. There we go. Hold on, I'm just gonna... There we go. And now I can add some shading to the guy. And I believe I have a rough brush texture that I made. And I can use that to give my Deathclaw a little more texture. There we go. I do make a lot of the brushes that I use just because it's easier for me than trying to work around the standard ones. So then gray here, and then with my texture brush, I'm going to add some lighting on the horns. Of course, clipping to this. Go. Alright, that should look good. Let's hit add. And there we go. Maybe I'll use my texture brush. I know I'm going over time now, but I don't know. I want to have something a little more complete feeling with this. Go in there. Shade it. Go. There. And then I get a nice desaturated yellow and airbrush to fill in the sky. There we go. That looks good enough to me. So yeah, I think I'm finally going to call it done, and thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you this evening, and in the meantime, I'll get these posted and check for your message so that I can prep your request. Have a great rest of your day if you're not going to tune in later, and if you are going to tune in later, I will see you there. Bye!